5 minutes as individuals.
I'm going to take 10 minutes because I'm representing the existing business owners at the Raytown Plaza, as well as myself as a citizen. My name is Dave McCauley. I am a co-owner of a business in the Raytown Plaza, a small business, and I live at 10104 East 56th Terrace in Raytown. I was at all the other meetings that we've had on this. This is a statement that I read before, but I wanted to read it before you, because this is a business person's perspective of what needs to happen in Raytown. I think we can all agree that we want downtown Raytown to develop into a nice walkable shopping district. One that provides opportunities for small businesses to be open and successful. One that offers a mix of places to eat, be entertained, shop, as well as obtain professional services. We're not looking for a mini Westport. Generally, a revitalized central business area. We look to places like Independence Square and Lee Summit downtown for examples of what Raytown might be. The problem is Independence Square and Lee Summit downtown have existed for years. They're already there. We do not enjoy that level of development. Basically, what Raytown has is an intersection at an old, used to be vital roads that aren't heavily traveled now. Most would agree that the buildings along these places, along these streets, really need to be tore down and replaced. But the fact remains is that most of Raytown is either vacant, empty, or on its way down. We've had little or no new buildings built in Raytown area, in the downtown area, in 30 years at least. A few years ago, a few Raytown citizens came up with a nice design for the downtown business district. The problem I see is not with the plan, not with the design, but how do we get from their ideas to a finished project? The plan assumes that somebody with a lot of money is going to A, see value in our design for Raytown, and B, when they invest their money and time in our design, hopefully they'll realize a profit. The problem is that person does not exist. The demographics of Raytown do not support that kind of third-party revitalization. It's up to Raytown to provide what's the most important thing, and that's traffic. If we don't have traffic downtown, businesses aren't going to come here and locate. People with money are not going to come here and locate. They're going to go where the demographics support them making a profit. The person that has that kind of money to invest, they are going to go somewhere else. They're going to go to Zona Rosa, which was built because the demographics supported it. They went to Overland Park. They went to Lee Summit because the demographics support it. If we look at the demographics of Raytown, they have declined to the point where people just pass through town. 50 Highway is the corridor, but 50 Highway is not our downtown. We want to bring some of that down to the city center. The small businesses that are there, we don't have a lot of money. Most of us operate on a shoestring, hoping that we can get some traffic down there. Some of those businesses in the Raytown Plaza get 2, 3, 4 customers a day. You put a Wal-Mart across the street, I know that that's going to increase. It just makes sense. Now, I'm sorry that some people don't agree with that. But the fact remains is that we have to operate Raytown like a business. And we're not doing that now. Also, what we have to do is realize that there are going to be some people are going to suffer. Some businesses are going to suffer. But the fact is that downtown Raytown has suffered already. We have to run Raytown like a business. And if we need to upgrade the businesses that are in Raytown, they need to be invited in and made to be welcome. I'm not saying that you give away the farm. Don't let the Wal-Mart come in here, the neighborhood market come in here and run the show. Tell them what we can give them. Ask them to get as close to those standards as we can. But Wal-Mart as a business, as a way of generating traffic, is a gift that Raytown will never get again. Yeah, you can say that, that's fine, but it's true. You can say that, but it's true. We have to generate traffic. Wal-Mart will generate that traffic. They've conceded on a 24 hours. They've conceded on some of their parking. I don't believe that they need exposure on 63rd Street. If they need exposure down there in order to profit, then maybe they're not the right business, but I know that Wal-Mart will bring business. So here's what I think we do. We allow the Wal-Mart not downtown. We don't allow them to change anything on 63rd Street. We enforce the plan that we have on all of the other properties downtown. That way we get some of what we want, which is a walkable downtown. Once Wal-Mart is down there and the traffic increases, other people will show up. Not the master developer, but other people will show up and they will upgrade downtown for us because it's a good business place to be. Then in 5 or 10 years, if Wal-Mart decides to leave, then that property that they're in suddenly is now vacant. Somebody's going to see that that's a valuable piece of property because all this other development has gone on. And somebody with money will come there and redevelop it. And through our plan, we can enforce how that property is redeveloped. We have to make a step forward. Otherwise, we will never get started. I have lived in Raytown since the 60s. I have been an adult business owner in Raytown for 25 or 30 years, and all we have ever heard is what we're going to do tomorrow. Here's an opportunity. No tax abatement, going to pay their fair share, they're going to build the building, and they're going to bring the traffic. What more could we ask? I ask you, what more could we ask? Now, for my last few minutes, I want to talk about a few points. I've been at these other meetings that we've had. People talk about the crime. Well, they seem to be confused. This is not a super center. This is a grocery store. Just like Constantino's, just like Thriftway that was on the other side of Raytown Road. This is a grocery store. It is not some monstrosity that everybody needs to be afraid of. By limiting the hours, we do not create an all-night meeting spot in the middle of downtown. Downtown will go to bed. People will be able to get their rest. Property values decreasing. What do the property values doing right now? I don't see them increasing. If we increase the traffic, we build up downtown, business property values will increase, so will residential properties. Last week somebody said we should wait on the commuter line. My God, why should we wait on that? It'll never happen. And if it does, great. If downtown is partially already redeveloped, that's more of a reason for them to put a stop on the thing for us. But if we wait on them to show up with a commuter rail, we may be able to start over from nothing because all those buildings are going to crumble and fall over before that happens. So what I say is we don't wait on the commuter line. Let's get started. 90% of the people that are going to come downtown are going to drive there anyway. They're not going to ride a commuter rail. They say businesses will be lost downtown. Who's going to compete? Who is Wal-Mart going to compete with? A grocery store? Do you see Constantino's here? Are they concerned? I don't think so. You don't see Wal-Mart or Hy-Vee here. They're not concerned. The only people that are concerned are the people that want to run this town. And it gets a little old. That's the only ones that are concerned. I'm a small business. I'm not concerned. I want traffic. Some people seem to think that this lot is the only thing in downtown Raytown. So I ask you, I know you have a job and you have responsibilities, but you have responsibilities to the people and the businesses in downtown Raytown. Thank you.
Ms. Forrester up next, and Jeanette Jeffries on that.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you. My name is Norma Storms. I live at 7905 West Ridge. I was born at 51st and Blue Ridge, so I've been around a little while. And I'm just here to express my own opinions. I got interested in this by watching you people on television. And after I watched that, I went to my drugstore, which is Fox's, and I found this piece of paper here. And many of you might or might not have one of those pieces of paper, but I was quite surprised when I read who put it out and their reasons for not wanting Wal-Mart. And it says here, Wal-Mart refuses to meet the design plans that other businesses must follow. And I think that there's enough wisdom in this room and with Wal-Mart that they can hammer those differences out. Another thing that they mentioned was vacant buildings when they close other businesses or move out. We lose jobs. Well, businesses come and go, as I've heard, and jobs come and go, and Walmart will bring jobs. Another reason that they gave was 18-wheel supply trucks that tear up our roads, costing taxpayers. That was item number 4, I think. I live down the street from 2 nursing homes, and those 18-wheelers come in and bring groceries, and they don't tear up that street. The only tearing up that's done on West Ridge is just by normal traffic. Cisco trucks is what I'm referring to, Dan, and you've seen them come in and out of right down the street from me. They don't tear up the streets. I don't know where they get that. And then they talk about blowing trash, and they say there are no trash cans in our downtown. Well, if there's no trash cans in downtown, what do downtown people do with them? Well, whatever they do, Walmart can do the same. Let it go. Well, the same people that put this out were the same people that got Walmart out there on 350 Highway, which is close to my neighborhood. And I don't know if any of you people felt bad about it, but I sure felt bad when all those beautiful trees were taken down to put the church there and to put the Walmart out on 350 Highway. I felt bad about it. We got a vacant lot now that don't have a cow nor a horse on it, nor a tree, nor a bush. Why can't something be done with that vacant lot? I don't think it looks pretty right in the middle of town. The new store on where the old Baptist church would be, where it was, the new store would be a grocery store. It would be within walking distance of the people in Bowen, within walking distance of the people in this landing down here. So why not go ahead and put it in? Well, a little trip down memory lane for people that don't want this grocery store in town. In the 40s, we had a grocery store in Raytown. Steve's father remembers when it was a few doors down from where Fox's drugstore is. And it was called Scholar's, right there in the middle of Raytown. Scholar's, and then we had another one up from Fox's drugstore, that was called Muir's grocery store. And in that was where our post office was. Now that's going back a few years. A little bit of history. So I think we might just as well go ahead and build this store that Wal-Mart wants to build right there in the middle of town. Take up the space and we can have it right there where within walking distance of many folks. And all that, I'll thank you.
Ms. Norris, thank you. Jeanette, as you're coming up, we're going to remind the audience and future speakers, I'm asking that you address the board and not the audience. We want to hear from you this time and not, if you will, instill the audience. Jeanette's up now and Ed Clark is on deck, please.
Okay. Mayor, I have a question before I get started. Does everyone who intends to speak need to be signed in for this evening?
That's typically the way we work, and I see that there's another sign-up list going, and I've got two here in front of me, so.
Okay, so if you intend to speak, I guess you're going to need to sign in. My name is Jeanette Gentry. I don't necessarily have to give my address because we didn't do the oath, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 11,000 East 59th Street, Raytown, Missouri. This has been going on a while. I've been to several of these meetings, several of the planning and zoning meetings. I'd like to thank the Board of Aldermen for scheduling the meeting tonight and listening to people that are coming forward. I'd like to thank the Board of Aldermen that I've had the opportunity to speak with on the telephone. I've learned a couple of interesting things from people on the telephone. I believe Mr. Ertz told me that the latest traffic study on record indicates that particular stoplight at Raytown Road and Blue Ridge Boulevard is the second busiest in the city. Is that correct?
No, during this period, during this public comment, during public hearings, we do come in that. It's the other time we've done.
No, I was referring to the traffic study that happened for the streetscape projects, in that we did have high traffic counts. I don't believe I numbered it, but when we do have a high traffic counts going through our downtown, our problem was that they were not stopped.
And that was higher than...
At a streetscape project.
Okay. I believe he actually said that was higher than two major traffic areas in Kansas City, and I'm sorry, I don't recall what those were. So that's a point for interest in Raytown. I'm a little concerned about the additional exhibits that were passed out tonight. Were those not made available on the public table?
Mr. Benson, regarding the exhibits that were handed out tonight and available to the public, have been made available to the public.
We don't have extra copies right now at this meeting. They will be put on the city's website tomorrow.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Mr. Sharma. We will upload those to the city's website.
Thank you.
Okay, at that point in time, will the rest of the exhibits that were added from the planning and zoning be added to the web packets? I believe you were missing exhibits that were Mr. Gunther's pass out, and then there were several items that were entered into exhibit from emails that the Chairman Wilson had added at that time.
We have not discussed that, but we can do those as well.
Well, aren't they part of the public record, though?
They are in this city clerk packets. But I think when I was referring to those, I was talking about the report from, in the mayor's question, the report that we received today, those documents. I didn't mean to attend all exhibits, but we can look doing that. That's the voice. And speaking out of terms, because I'm not the IT person, so I'm not sure what's all involved in that. Otherwise, they are enabled in the city clerk's office.
At this time, I would like to formally request that the next public hearing, that I'm assuming is going to be the 21st of May, unless it's changed, on this particular issue be advertised on Raytown's government channel with a complete agenda item as to what exactly the meeting is about. That is a formal request for that, please. And if that is not going to be able to be honored, I would like a response as to why. I see that the applicant has made a few changes to their plan here, but please remember that 63rd Street that they're they're gonna leave green for a couple months, is still part of the zoning change that they're looking for. So it is the entire green space and those two properties down on 63rd Street. It is relevant to note that the Planning and Zoning Chair gave this particular application a 46% approval, which I believe to be a D in today's grading for the content that was available on this. So asking our Board of Aldermen to basically approve something blind with not knowing any of the details of it
Ms.
is...
Gentry, would you repeat that, please?
Which what?
What you just said about the chairman's comment?
Chair Wilson, at the Planning and Zoning meeting, gave this application a 40% as far as being complete. He said that it was about 46% complete. I believe Mr. Downey probably has that on file, on his video.
Time it's just expired.
Okay, I'd just like to make one more comment. With Google Fiber coming into Kansas City, or coming into Raytown, I think if they use the same demographics that Wal-Mart used, then, and we're getting all these calls from all over the U.S. wanting to know about Raytown and Google Fiber, makes a little sense to wait and see what better's going to come down, because I'll guarantee you something better is going to come down. This property hasn't been marketed since 2009.
Ed Clark, is that followed by Charlie Welch on there?
My name is Ed Clark at 6115 Gleaves Boulevard. I'm a tax accountant. When this first started out a while back, this project was known as a test market for Raytown, and I think you can put that over there. A test market for Raytown. So I don't understand one out of 6 blocks, and they want to do this as a test market to see if this plan's going to work. I don't think it should. Also, if you look at their zonings, in the zoning application, it says you comply with the zoning, and it says, you know, unchanged, but 57% of zoning laws will have to be changed if this happens. Number 2, it asks about, is there nearby parcels around? Well, my office is not 40,000 square foot, and I don't have a concrete drive, I don't have heavy asphalt, heavy concrete, or heavy building concrete. So I thought that was kind of interesting. If you got on the internet, you can get their application. Also, it says in here that, will the zoning be a deterrent? Well, when you have 165 cars going in and out of Wal-Mart, I don't think people will come to our shops in Raytown. If you got ice cream in the car, do you think you're going to go shopping somewhere? That don't even make sense. Also, you've got trucks that are going Blue Ridge. You've got 3 exits on Blue Ridge. You've got a funeral home, a school. You'll get trash on the road. And as far as those police reports, I went back into Raytown, and there was from April 22nd to the 25th in the 350 highway, there was 5 cases where police were called. And I don't have the study. If I would have had that, I'd have been able to respond. Also, it says in their application, what's the hardship? Well, it says in here that it will generate a lot of sales, and in addition, Walmart will have everyday low prices. Why is Walmart prices low? Minimum wage. They don't pay their products until their products are sold. Also, they'll put all small businesses out of business. I have experience in Butler, Missouri, and once Walmart moved in, all the small businesses went out. Also, they asked here about the comprehensive development, putting 4.5 acres of concrete and asphalt in 1 out of 6 blocks in Raytown is no improvement. I think it looked blighted that way as compared to just vacant ground. Also, when you read their literature, one place they say there's going to be a 10-foot wall, another place is going to be a 13-foot wall. Also, it says that why is anybody from Walmart here, like Google, the head person was here that could speak? Nobody from Walmart's ever showed up. They just bring their agents along so they can say, well, I don't know. And I think that's real important that they be here. Also, they said that it would create 60 to 90 jobs. Then you hear from 90 to 100. I don't think they'll create new jobs. I think they'll just transfer their people from one place to the other. Also, Raytown paid $500,000, took $500,000 to tear it down. It's $1 million. They sell it for $675, 3.7 acres. That's $3.95 a square foot. I'm sure we can find somebody that will us get more than that, especially when you have a nice piece of ground in Raytown. Also, there is sizes in St. Louis of 10,000 square feet for these stores, and in 28,000 square feet if you go out on the internet. And then they also, if they want to be such a good neighbor as a neighborhood store, why is all their money, checks, cash, credit cards, all transferred at midnight out of the bank account to Bentonville, Arkansas? So none of the money stays here in Raytown. Raytown would get, right now, 8.25 is the sales tax. I believe Raytown gets 2.375 and 3.75 for fire. So it's 2.7. That's all we get. And all the problems that we're going to have with Raytown in here. So you guys might check that out. Also, it said about saving trees. When you read their report, it said they'd like to save our trees. We found out last week from Sue that this one tree was made in 1776. So remember, you're driving down south on Blue Ridge and you'll see this 13-foot wall. Do you think that's really going to be an improvement to downtown Raytown, that I'm going to go down and shop? Also, I think the hours at 6 to midnight is too late. I think it should be like 7 to 10. Also, one minute they say they want to keep 63rd Street open so they can see the store, and the next time we're talking about maybe knocking that down and putting pads and sell things. Which do they want? See, Wal-Mart never says. They just say, well, what if, what if, what if? I think they need to be pinned down to their answers, because how can you guys pass something when we don't even know what it's kind of like the government trying to pass a law. We'll pass it, we'll read it later. It's not going to work. Also, they said they submitted their plans. Now we're up to I, Z, or P. I think it should be IZ, instead of IG. Also, they said that they need to be flexible. We need to be flexible. But we just bend, and they just keep wanting more and more. There's other places in Raytown that they can put their store in if they want to, and not in the center of Raytown. You can imagine 4.5 acres of nothing but asphalt, and that's not going to bring anybody to Raytown. And so I'm totally against it.
Charlie Welch. Charlie is not here. Go to Darlene Ryan, and Shelley Schumann is on deck. Darlene Ryan is up. Shelley Schumann on deck. Sorry to keep you up so late.
That's all right, because this is not my sleep hour. I'm not a speaker, but I'm a very concerned person that lives here. My name is Darlene Ryan. I live at 5906 Elm. I grew up here, and I have watched Raytown go from good to whatever it is, and whatever. But I agree that Raytown needs to improve. But Wal-Mart is definitely not the way to go. Wal-Mart is like cancer. It kills every business around it because they are in competition. I heard today from some people that said they plan on putting at least 900 of these grocery stores around the United States. Well, there's a lot of good places to shop. It's a shame that they think they have to come to Raytown. I think we have a Wal-Mart on 40 Highway. We have one on 50 Highway. Well, that's just how it happened to be. I've always given the mayor and the aldermen credit for trying to do good for Raytown. But I am so sorry that you have taken this path to put Raytown through this. Thank you.
Hi. Yes, my name is Shelley Schumann, and like the previous speaker, I'm not really accustomed to standing up in front of you and voicing my opinion, and so I just want to express that when we do this, it's because we feel this is an important issue, and we really want you to hear what we have to say. It's way out of my comfort zone to stand up here and talk to you. I can talk other places, but this just really isn't my forte. And I think it's important for you to consider the volume of comments that you get from the public. I don't want you to dismiss that. I really hope that you take it very seriously, that when you hear the voices of a large number of people, that there's a message that they're trying to send you. And so I hope that you hear that. Personally, I'm opposed to changing the Town Square Overlay District for this key location in Raytown. We have one downtown. We have one green space. We have one place that is very precious to us. And I don't think that Wal-Mart is the best facility to go into that green space. I think there are other things, like with Google Fiber coming here, you're seeing things that if they're attracted here, other businesses can be attracted here as well. And I don't want us to make concessions to Wal-Mart that we can't make to every other business that would come into this area. So basically our overlay plan would just be trashed if we have to give in to Walmart, because then we'd really have to give in to everybody else. It's not fair to give in to one company and not give in to, especially mom and pops that couldn't afford to do some of the things that Walmart can afford to do. I personally think that if they want to come in, they need to comply with all the standards. They could make a smaller store. If that doesn't work for them, then there's other places in Raytown. I'm not anti-Walmart. Go someplace where it's a better space and better place for you to put your facility. Just don't do it in this precious space downtown. The other thing that I want to say is that I think it's important for me as a citizen, if I want to stand up here and say Walmart is a bad idea, then I also think I need to stand up here and say I will do what I can to help be a solution for you. I'm not going to tell you don't do Walmart and try good luck figuring something else out. That's not what I'm here to do. What I am here to do is say I think there's a better option. I will help you as I can. If that means making phone calls, I don't have the money to finance anything for you, and I'm sorry about that. Really sorry about that. But I will make phone calls, and I will reach out, and I will try to attract other businesses. And I think as we look at the opportunities that are before us with the projects that are coming down the pike, which I am optimistic about, then I think we have better opportunities that are going to come to us in the future. And I pray that we would use our precious, precious space down there, that green space, for one of these better opportunities. Thank you.
Next, we've got Larry Duckworth. Following Larry Duckworth is Steve Gunther. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen on the Board of Aldermen. I appreciate this opportunity to give our opinion about things. I don't know how many people here have gone out to Overland Park. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I don't know how many people have gone out to Overland Park and looked at the Walmart stores there. Looked at the location, looked at the traffic, gone inside of them, just generally had a look around. It's not going to work. First of all, the Walmart stores there are right next to 4 6-lane roads, capable of carrying heavy traffic, capable of carrying a lot of traffic. Our demographics in Raytown is very, very different from what there is in Overland Park. That's why the businesses are all on 50 Highway. That's why the businesses are on 40 Highway. We don't have the demographics to support that business. This one lady who came up here and talked, she was right. The people living downtown, the elderly people within walking distance, they need a grocery store. I agree, 100%. Walmart is not the answer. It's going to bring in a lot of heavy traffic. It can't produce the income and what the city needs. It's just simply not there. We have to do a better job defining our demographics, defining who we are. Look in places like Lee Summit and other surrounding cities. What have they done to rejuvenate their area? Remember, our income structure here is different. We're working class people. Overland Park are professionals. These are upper income people. They can support 100 Walmarts if they'd shop there. They don't. But we aren't that. We're something different. We have to match what we're going to do with what we are if we're going to succeed. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.